Have you ever felt this ache for a home you can't go back to? A place that maybe doesn't even exist anymore, or maybe never really did outside your own head. Today, we're going to dive into a feeling that is so deeply personal, and yet it's something we all kind of understand, even if we don't have a word for it.
Just think about that for a second. It's a really strange, bittersweet feeling, isn't it? It's not just about missing your childhood house. No, it's a longing for the feeling of that house, for a past that's been kind of reshaped by memory, or maybe even for an ancestral home you only know from stories.
It's so true. Our memories totally stretch and warp physical spaces. The hallways seemed longer, the ceilings were way higher. And that vastness we remember, it's not just a trick of the light, it's the truth of how these places live inside of us, shaping our inner world long after we've gone. We carry the echo of what it felt like, not just what it was.
So what in the world do you call this really complex emotion? Well, the English language kind of falls short here, but luckily the Welsh have a word that just nails it perfectly.
Hiraeth. It's pronounced Hiraeth, and it's so much more than just being homesick. It's this deep, soul-level yearning for a place that feels like it's a part of you, but a place you just can't get back to, either because it's been lost to time or maybe it only ever existed in your imagination.
Okay, this breakdown really makes it click. Nostalgia is usually a pretty straightforward longing for a real past. But Hiraeth, it's different. It's the feeling of something that isn't there, that presence of absence. It's this beautiful, tangled mix of the joy of a memory and the deep pain of knowing it's gone. And this is key. It can be a yearning for a past that's been romanticized, or even one you never actually experienced firsthand.
And this feeling, it isn't just a private, individual experience. It can actually define an entire community's search for belonging, especially when they're facing displacement. Let's look at a really powerful real-world example of this.
So back in 2011, the 3.9 Art Collective came together in San Francisco. They were responding to a really startling trend. The Black population in the city had just plummeted, down to a tiny fraction of what it used to be. For these artists, the search for home became this urgent, collective mission.
For these artists, Hiraeth just resonates on so many different levels. It's not about one lost home. We're talking about a historical longing for an ancestral connection that was severed by slavery. It's about senior culture appropriated and watered down. And it's the very real, modern pain of being priced out of your own neighborhood by gentrification, of losing the physical places where community and art can even happen. It's this profound, multi-layered absence.
And what did they do? They channeled this collective feeling right into their work. In 2015, they put on an exhibition, and it gave it the perfect name for their mission, Hiraeth. The gallery became a space to explore this search for home through the tangible, immediate power of art. So, let's look at a few of the artists from that exhibition. Their individual takes on this idea. They really show just how deeply this theme of absence and longing can be explored when art is born right out of it.
Wow. This photograph is by Kevin B. Jones. He actually traveled to the South to capture these images. It's just such a stark, quiet confrontation with history. This isn't just a picture of an old building. It's a visual anchor for that deep, ancestral Hiraeth, a longing for a connection to a past that's defined by both incredible pain and unbelievable resilience. In his own words, they just get right to the heart of it. This work isn't about dwelling on the oppression. It's about building a bridge across time, about acknowledging the spirit that survived and even thrived against impossible odds. It's about finding a sense of home, not in a place, but in the story of endurance itself.
Okay, so now let's shift from a historical absence to one that's happening right now, in real time. Rhiannon Evans McFadden, who is also the show's curator, she focused on the changing face of her own city. She documented these incredible community murals, moments of local pride and expression, as they were just unceremoniously erased, usually covered up with a flat, sad coat of beige or green paint.
This quote just perfectly captures a uniquely modern kind of Hiraeth. You haven't gone anywhere, but home has left you. The soul of the place, the things that made it feel like your home, are just vanishing right before your eyes. You literally become a stranger in your own land.
Now here's another interpretation, and this one completely challenges our definition of what home even is. This piece is by artist William Rhodes. It's a suitcase, right? A symbol of being in transit, of displacement. But look, it's lit up from within. There's a little American flag on a clothesline, a photo, a neon sign. It's a whole portable world.
Now, to create this piece, Rhodes didn't just imagine what losing a home would be like.
He went and talked to people who had. He spoke with unhoused residents in the Bayview community, many of whom had deep family roots there but were now living on the streets. And he asked them a really simple question. What does home mean to you?
And the answer he got was just so profound. For them, home wasn't a physical building they've lost. No, it was something they carried inside them. It lived in their memories, in their spirits, and in the few precious things they kept with them. Home had become this internal, portable sanctuary.
So from all of these incredibly powerful artistic expressions, let's zoom back out to the philosophy of the feeling itself. What if this ache, this longing we're calling Hiraeth, what if it isn't actually a void? What if it's something else entirely?
Now, this is a pretty radical way to reframe it. We're usually taught to think of longing as this painful emptiness that needs to be filled. But what if that's not what it is at all?
Instead of a void, what if we think of longing as a process that actually enlarges us? When you long for something, a lost home, a person, a feeling, you are creating this vast space inside yourself to hold that memory, to hold that desire. Your inner world literally expands.
So in this light, the ache of Hiraeth isn't a sign of weakness or that something's wrong. It's actually proof of our incredible capacity to feel, to love, and to carry entire worlds inside of us. Worlds that are shaped just as much by absence as they are by presence.
And this is the final, beautiful paradox of this feeling. Yes, Hiraeth is a wound. Of course it is. It hurts. It's the very real pain of loss. But it is also a portal. It's an opening through which we connect to the deepest parts of ourselves, to our history, and to the immense, immeasurable landscapes of our own hearts. So I'll leave you with this question to mull over. We all have these aches, these longings. What is the Hiraeth that you carry with you? And how has that feeling, that wound, and that portal made your own inner world vaster and deeper and more uniquely your own?